Hello, everyone. We are going to do a pre-recorded lesson. Well, this is really an after-recorded lesson about developing personal identity and character. When you see me looking down, like I said in class, we're just looking at I'm just looking at my notes. So when you go into your dashboard, you'll click on your modules and you'll scroll all the way down to the bottom. You're going to click on your character notes. And then you'll, depending on which language you speak, the first one is English, the second one is Spanish, and the third one is Portuguese. When you click on it, you'll click Make a Copy, and then it will open up this cluster chart. And remember, the first two things we always do when we log into our documents that I give you is we rename it. Yours will say Copy Of. So you're just going to erase copy of, and you're going to type your last name and then hit enter. And then we're going to move it into your health folder. Okay, so you're going to scroll down and you're going to find your health folder, and then you're going to click move. So remember, those are the two things you always do. First, you rename it, and then second, you move it into the folder that you went to in your Google Drive. All right, so right now, I'm just trying to help teach you how to take notes in some of your other classes, because some teachers might say to you, hey, take your own notes. And if you don't know how to start or you don't know what to do, I want to make sure that you have an idea of what to do. So first, we're just going to listen. You're just going to listen, and then I will remind you, and I'll type with you for what to do. So first, we're just going to talk about our own identity. And the big idea here is that our identity describes who we are. And our personal identity is our sense of self and our unique individuality. We are who we are, and that's amazing. And our identity will change a little bit over time because we're growing up and we're maturing, and we're moving away from our families just a little bit as we start to grow up. However, the big question is how does our identity form? And that starts with the adults that are in our life. Our mom and our dad, our grandma and our grandpa, our aunts and our uncles, our neighbors, whoever is around us the most are the people that form our identities. They start teaching us their values. They start teaching us the things that are important to them. And also one big person or thing is our role models. Whoever we look up to because of their success or because of their behaviors, they serve as an example for us. And that's who we essentially start to strive after, and we want to be like them. And that's someone that you will always look up to, and you might follow them on Instagram or watch them if it's a sports person or an athlete or an actor or an actress. You like what they do on the field or on the screen, and you just like who they are and how they present themselves. And even though they struggle at times, they always come out positive on the other side. But eventually, you develop a clear sense of your own values and your own interests and beliefs and your own goals and your own relationship expectations, and that's what makes your identity what it is. Okay? There are some aspects of identity, and one of those is your personality. And I know that all of you have identity, pieces of your personality that are amazing. Some of you are very shy. However, you have a joke that you pop in here or there, and you're super funny. Some of you are very athletic, and some of you are super loud and boisterous, and it's great. And I love getting to know you and getting to know your personality because it sets you apart from everyone else. And that's what personality is all about. All right? So character. All right, that's what this cluster chart is all about. And as you can tell, yours looks a little different than mine because I did make my bubbles a little bit bigger because we're going to type in it. Okay, so you can double click here by the word character and you'll get the cursor. All right, we're going to define what character is. So get your typing fingers ready. All right, So the definition of character is the qualities, and I can't spell, qualities, that describe how a person behaves, thinks, and feels. Okay? Now you have an option. You can leave the words how they are, or you can make it so they fit inside. That's totally up to you. I'm going to make the word character bold because I think that it's important that we know what the word character means. So while you're typing, I'm just going to read the definition again. The word character, its definition is that it describes how a person behaves, thinks, and feels. So think about your character, all right? How do you behave? How do you think? And how do you feel? Whether it's in the school building, whether it's on the athletic field, for those of you that are athletes, whether it's on the bus, how do you think, feel, and behave in different settings that you are put in? We are all very different people. We are all being raised by different people. So we're all going to act very different, okay? So there are 6 traits of someone who has good character, okay? And when we were in class, I had people give me, they all guessed, but because I'm recording this, I'm just going to give them to you. Okay, so the first trait of someone who has good character is trustworthiness. My typing fingers when people are watching is terrible, right? I still can't spell it. There we go. Trustworthiness. So trustworthiness is someone who is loyal, someone who is reliable, and someone who is honest. Think about those. Are those traits that you have? Do you show up on time? Are you always late? We want your friends, your family want you to be on time. If you say you're going to do something, they want you to do it. Someone who is trustworthy does not steal, does not cheat, and does not lie. So being trustworthy is super important, and it also is a trait of someone who has great character. All right. The second one is someone who has great respect or is respectful in the things that they do. All right. Someone who is respectful is considerate of other people. They accept everyone's differences. They make decisions and know that there is a consequence if they make a poor decision. Even if they disagree with someone else's opinion or decision, they know that everyone is entitled to their own opinions and they're okay with it. You agree to disagree and you move on. If you don't like that person's opinion, then you walk away from it. There's no need to get into an argument or to be loud and boisterous just because you don't agree with them. Someone who is respectful agrees that they don't have the same opinion and you can walk away. All right? The next one I'm going to put over here, and it's responsibility. Okay? Someone who is responsible is someone who uses self-control, someone who thinks before they act, someone knows, very much like respect, they know what the outcome is going to be if they make a poor decision. You're accountable for your actions and your decisions, and you don't blame other people. If you are a person that constantly blames other people for a decision that you made, then you are not showing good character. We all make mistakes. And we all need to own those mistakes that we made and hope that we learn from it and we don't continue to make those mistakes. You try your best and you always complete whatever you've started. No, there's no giving up. The next one is fairness. Okay. Those of us that consistently say that's not fair, you're right. There are some situations in life that aren't fair. But someone who has good character plays by the rules. They take turns and they share. you are open-minded, you listen to other people's opinions, and you don't take advantage of other people. If we were talking about sports, you make sure that everybody gets a turn. If you're out on the playground or riding bikes or a place where not everybody has one, you make sure that everyone is offered a chance to have a turn. All right? The fifth one is someone who is caring. Someone who is caring is kind and compassionate, expresses gratitude, which is essentially when you say please and thank you, and they want to help other people in need. And if that's you, then you are someone who has good character. All right, and the final one is something that you learned, I think, about when you were in elementary school. I think awards were given out for people who had good citizenship. And this is when you care about the environment that you are in, you care about your community, and you show interest in what's going on around you. You don't litter, you pick trash up, if you drop something, you pick it up, you obey the rules, you obey the laws, and you show respect for authority. Now, when I say authority, I mean the adults in your life, the custodians, the principals, your teachers, the bus drivers, the security officers that are on campus, and in turn, then the police officers. Now, obviously, we want you all to stay safe and not have to be in that situation. But if there ever is a situation where you do have to be involved with the law enforcement, we just remember that you just have to do what they're asking and hope that you stay safe. Okay? And that's what citizenship is. So these are the 6 traits out here in these outside bubbles of someone who has good character. Do you have good character? If you are currently filling in this bubble and you are not in class and you're trying to earn points, I want you to click on this text box, make a text box here, and tell me how many of these traits you have. So you should have a number in the middle of your box. That way I will know that you answered all of my questions, because in class I had the kids send me a chat message about how many of these character traits they had. Okay, and that way you'll earn all of your points. The last thing I have for you is, how do you work towards a positive identity? I think some of us have a negative identity and that we're afraid that could follow us from middle school to high school. Just so you know, that's not going to happen. Just Mr. Moeller and I are currently teaching for the 9th graders, so nobody knows you. All right. So a couple things I want to tell you is, make sure you recognize your strengths and your weaknesses. You all know what your strengths are, so use them. But you all know what your weaknesses are, and it's okay to ask for help. So ask for help, and people will help you and turn that weakness into a strength, and then use that to help you continue to be successful. Make sure you use these 6 traits and demonstrate these positive values. That's super important. Make sure you develop a purpose. All right? If you know what you want to be when you grow up, follow that lead and take it and go and be successful. Excuse me. For meaningful relationships. All right? Make sure that you find relationships with teachers, with peers, with coaches, with people that you care about, so that you know that you're learning from them. They will give you constructive criticism that will help you grow into a better human than you already are. Avoid unhealthy high-risk behaviors. Gangs, weapons, drugs, and alcohol. Stay away from them, all right? And the final thing that I have is to contribute to your community. Join a club at school, join a youth group, join a community group that is going to give back and to help people in our community that need it. Whether it's just cleaning up trash, whether it's donating food, whether it's helping people mow their lawn. Give back to our community because that's what everybody needs, a little help. All of us do. German club, French club, student council, Spanish club, Leo club. There are a ton of different clubs in our after school programs that you can join for free. You just show up in the Zoom meetings right now, and they would love to have you. All right. Make sure you turn this cluster chart in using the Google Drive LTI 1.3 so that you can get points. See you in class.